reach out and touch the sky. In the city of angels, feels like I'm coming home. With my head up in the clouds, I am searching for something, and I'm still hoping. 'Cause I wanna be in, not out, wanna make this all count. Yes, I wanna go crazy now, gonna make this all count. Feeling like a rock star, 'cause tonight I'm getting out of line and it's alright. Feeling like feeling like just as cool as John Wayne in his movies. Feeling like I'm James Dean and I know it. Feeling like feeling like a rock star. Feeling like a rock star. Feeling like a rock star. Feeling like a rock star.
But it's not that easy. You're complicating things for me. No, it's not that easy. Maybe just a little time can heal me, but it doesn't feel the way. What are you doing to me? Why'd you break my heart? Left me in the dark, dark. Why'd you have to go? I don't wanna feel this way. Though I'm broken, I'm still hoping I could be with you. I'm still breathing, it's not easy. I'm just a fool for you. I'm just that stupid. Maybe just a little time can make you change your mind about us. I thought that we were meant to be. Why'd you break my heart? Left me in the dark, dark. Why'd you have to go? I don't wanna feel this way. Though I'm broken, I'm still hoping I could be with you. I'm still breathing, it's not easy. I'm just a fool for you. I'm just a fool for you. I'm just a fool for you. For you. For you.
La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la la la. Hey, I've got you on my mind. Yeah, you're all that I think about. You know you got me going wild, and what I want is you. Could you come a little closer? I want you by my side, and I'll try the best I can to make you feel this way. Don't let me down, down, down. It could be you and I want you now, 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 now. Come let me hold you now. I wanna lay in your arms. Come let me love you now. Yeah, you're the one that I want. I wanna stay here. I wanna stay here with you. I wanna stay here with you. La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la. I wanna stay here with you. La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la. I wanna stay here with you. Tell me what you wanna do. Yeah, 'cause I'd do anything. I just wanna be with you. How can you make me feel this way? Don't let me down, down, down. It could be you and I want you now, 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 now. Come let me hold you now. I wanna lay in your arms. Come let me love you now. Yeah, you're the one that I want. I wanna stay here. I wanna stay here with you. I wanna stay here with you. La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la. I wanna stay here with you. La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la. I wanna stay here with you. I just wanna hear you say that you want me to. I told you I can't get you off my mind. Come let me hold you now. I wanna lay in your arms. Come let me love you now. Yeah, you're the one that I want. I wanna stay here. I wanna stay here with you. I wanna stay here with you. La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la. I wanna stay here with you.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to Tuesday Night Studio Sessions. My name is Sean. I'll be your host. Hope you're having a good evening. I'm having a pretty good day. You'll notice that the studio changed a little bit. It looks really good right back there, and that's about it. Everything else is in chaos. I'm in the middle of moving things around. I'm still trying to figure out what to do with that corner. I think I want to move the camera farther away. I want to move this desk closer to the camera, and maybe have a little bit more depth of field in the background. But yeah, I haven't had time, and I want to. What's really weird is in my studio, in Melon, when I'm looking at y'all, all of the LED lights are flickering. But if I look at what's going on the live stream, there's no flickering at all. So I have been spending the last 15 minutes trying to get rid of the flicker, and I'm watching you guys live over here, and it's not flickered at all. So I don't know what's going on, y'all. Do not know what's going on. But I'm kind of digging that corner over there. Not totally digging it, but anyway, I thought the background might be kind of a gaming theme. I got the PS5. I got the Xbox back there. Got the VR headset. So hopefully in a couple months, that VR headset will change to the PlayStation VR 2. But we'll see what's going on there. But I'm going to move a couple things around just so I can see what's going on. I'm going to put you there. And put that up here. Move this over here. And I wish I could turn the chat off. Why can't I turn the chat off? I can shrink it. But I might just, well, no, I can't do settings. All right, we're good. So I'm going to check out what it looks like when I look at this chat or when I look at that chat. So I'm going to look at this chat, then we'll look at that chat. All right. So it doesn't look too bad. I'm looking at y'all. So, all right. Now that all of that is handled, I'm going to go through and, you know what? I'm going to kill that. And I'm going to make this full screen. And I think that's good to go. So I want to remind you guys to join the club. If you're not a member of the club, the link is pinned in the live stream. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Let me reset that. Ads are working. Good to know. So yeah, so in the club, we have almost exactly a month. So we have 3 weeks, I think, to March 21st, which is when Project Decay is due. I have a new logo and a new design coming, and I'm thinking about spending the next week designing 1 or 2 new designs for each shop. So I'm going to have the club shop, which nobody's ever bought anything from the club, so I might kill it. The drone shop, which seems to be pretty popular, I'm planning on adding a couple more designs there. I really want an FPV type design with goggles. I don't know if you guys have ever seen like a beach. Like, have you ever gone to the beach and there's like sunglasses and then there's like a scene in the sunglasses? I kind of want to do a shirt the same way, but have several different goggle designs. So I'm going to do the same design in the middle, and I'm going to gear it towards the Florida drone beat because it's on the ocean and it's on the water, and I think it'd be really cool to have kind of a beach scene in the goggles. And I want to do like a crazy pair of FPV goggles. I'm probably going to ask Maddie or Chris what their favorite goggles are, and I might imitate that. And then I'm definitely doing the DJI goggles too, because I have a lot of people that fly digital utilize those goggles. So anyway, I'm going to come up with a cool, like several scenes, one maybe like a mountain scene, one a beach scene, and then I'm going to put those in the goggles. And that just be, and then figure out some kind of slogan under it. I'm going to put kind of the same slogan under all of them, but I'm going to have a bunch of different themes with a bunch of different colors of shirts. And hopefully by the time the contest Project Decay is up, there will be a bunch of new shirts in there for people to pick. I'm going to draw everything myself. So I'll be able to put it in the public market on Spreadshirt. So yeah, so that's kind of what's going on with me. Let's address who's in the chat. So Steven Drones was the first one in tonight, so he beat out everybody else. And then Eat More Possum, it was second. I was really second, but I was already here the whole time anyway, so I don't really count. Eat More Possums in the house. JC Flying was third, which is pretty cool. Charles Gillespie's in the house. What's up, buddy? I'm going to make this a little bit bigger so I can see y'all's names. JC Flying's in the house. What's up? Who else we got? Oh, I need to read your guys' comments too. Just make sure that I didn't miss anything you guys were asking questions about. So Charles Gillespie. Silas Seeger's in the house. What's up? Dustin from One Vision Aerials in the house. Hello. So JC, John Carroll, said that his Mini 3 Pro arrived today. That's pretty awesome. I saw one on Marketplace, Facebook Marketplace, and I almost pulled the trigger on it. I still might get it, and I might just take that to the Florida meetup, just for fun. I really don't want to put an expensive drone up in the sky with a whole bunch of other drones, and I'm kind of leery about flying next to the ocean at the same time because I'm a city boy and I can't walk barefoot. No, if you get what I mean, there you are. Let's see who else we got in the house. Silas, good evening. Let's see. I think we got everybody so far. Yep, that's everyone. Yeah, Jim, John. I'm really trying to I'm really contemplating getting the one with the RC controller because you can control the DJI Air 2S with the controller. And I think having the Mini 3 Pro with the Air 2S with the sphere on it and the Avata, I think those three drones has every check mark checked. And as soon as I buy that third drone, DJI is going to come out with a new one that I wish I'd have stayed for. The other thing is the Avata drone still hasn't out yet. The updated Avata. I'd love to have that for the Florida meetup. But and I'm having a hard time searching for it. I don't know what it's called, and I don't remember what the company is. Oh, it's Axis. It's from Axis Drones. Go to new products. Is it from Axis Drones? I don't think that's it. Axis flying. All right, bear with me. I'm looking this up real quick. Oh. I don't know that it's out yet. Get more pots in bed air. Yeah, sorry, y'all. By the way, what do you guys think about this new lens? I'm now rocking the Nike 25 millimeter. It's a prime lens with an f-stop of 1.8. Yeah, what do you guys think? Is it sharp? Am I sharp to y'all? Am I good looking? Am I sexy? It looks pretty soft to me on YouTube Live, but I think melon by itself is just soft. So I try to get my scene as sharp as possible so that would look good. But Jim said it seems faded. Okay. So I've got to up the maybe we'll do that live. Y'all want to do that live? Let's try to do that live. I'm gonna break something. All right, let's see if setup shows up. Nope, setup didn't show up. So I wish we could just switch those things. So if I did this, is it going to kill everything? All right. So you know what? Yep, I think we got it. So that's out to the computer. Don't need that one. Switch this to this. Set up. Ha! Check that out. We're going to do this live, y'all. Can y'all see me? I feel like I'm behind now. All right, here we go. Don't kill everything. Saturate. So All right, I need it to catch up to me live. Thanks for that, Chris. So I think that looks pretty good. Let's take the... I feel like that's too dark. I think that looks pretty good. Oh, so I need to leave it there. And then I can just hit the menu button. Oh, that's an ugly wipe. All right, we'll fix that next week. All right. So now that we did that live, I think it looks really good. And I think one of the problems that earlier that was going on is that my logo is so like colorful and bright, and then the video that was underneath it was kind of faded. So yeah, I think that looks good. Cartoon Sean. Yep. Hello, boys and girls. Today we're going to fly drones. Yep. There you go. There's my cartoon voice. That's a mixture between Barney and Bullwinkle. Who's pretty much the same voice. Uh-oh, I forgot to refill my Coke. So, you guys mentioned a couple weeks ago on the video that I put out was a response to a guy that was kind of trashing my video. So I just did a video like he would like it. I wanted to go back and see which one had more views. So the Rocky Top had 256 views and 17 likes. And then the Hard Rocky Top, which I adjusted for, I don't even remember his name now. I adjusted it for him, and it only got 106 views. And most of my subscribers kind of didn't like the change. I mean, it was fun. I enjoyed editing that way. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, and it got some dislikes. So that's it. What's up, Maddie? Hey, Maddie and Chris, while you're on here, so I want to make some new shirts, and I'm going to do different style FPV goggles. One is going to be like the DJI goggles, but what other goggles do you guys like to use? I'm trying to pick out a different set of goggles with like antennas and stickers and stuff on it to make kind of an FPV t-shirt. And YouTube have flown a lot of FPV drones, so I just wanted to get your thoughts on that. And I'm going to do everything I can to make it down to Florida. I'll probably have to leave Saturday afternoon, but or I might just cancel on what I was planning on doing. But anyway, I am really planning on driving down for some of the meet. Probably drive down on Friday and then leave on Saturday afternoon. But that's the plan right now. It's 11 and a half hours away from me. So, but anyway, if you guys would answer that, I might just contact you guys on the club. But I've got some t-shirt designs that I want to get out. Now I want to see what that looks like. Yep. So there's that. But to answer your question, Chris, did the dude ever watch my video? I don't know. I honestly don't know. I don't think he commented on it because you commented to him, and I don't think he ever commented back. So, yep, he didn't comment on that video. I'll go see if he responded again on the other video. Yep. So he never responded to any of that. So that's pretty interesting. But it's all part of the game. People are going to like it and people are going to not like it. The thing that I love about YouTube is that if you like what I do, then you can subscribe to me and you can watch my videos. If you don't like what I do, there's a plenty of other guys out there doing different things that you might like. So I really don't care what most people think. I don't care what anybody thinks, but I respect a lot of the people in here. If you guys have something, you know, like critical to say, but you know, I know you guys are gonna respect me. Like the people that show up here every week and you guys are nice to me and I'm nice to y'all. Like I respect what you guys have to say, but if if you've got 3 videos on your channel and you're over here talking smack about my channel, like I don't know. Like I put on the thumbnail tonight that this was my 7th anniversary. It was 7. So I started Sean Hyde Studios, the channel, on I believe it's February 20th. So last week was really the 7th anniversary, but I didn't notice. But I've been doing this for 7 years. Now I didn't put out my first public video is, I believe, July 2nd or 3rd. So that was when I really decided to go for it. But I set up Sean Hyde Studios and I was going to do like, you know, stuff for my freelance. I was going to turn it into a business. And then I was like, you know what? And I watched a video where I think it was a Think Media video on how he started his channel. And he was like, I just looked around the house and I was like, I'm just going to review this thing. And so I just started picking up technology around my house and started that way. And then it became something that I loved so much. So, but yeah, 7 years, y'all. Pretty crazy. So I want to see what Chris is showing me. All right, so oh, these would actually be pretty easy to draw. Let's see if I can find a front view. Product shots are always like the corner. There we go. Are these the same goggles? Oh. Oh, it does have a front view. Nice. Yeah, so I could put my Shawnide Studios logo on each side for the antennas and then turn this gray area that's underneath to be like the beach scene. I want to save that. That's got a really cool, that's a really cool view. So Charles, you want me to sing Respect? I'm not going to sing Aretha Franklin tonight. All right, so Chris's suggestion is to do one t-shirt with the DJI Goggles 2 and the Walk Snail Avatar goggles. Sounds good. I was also like, this one's nice and clean, but I was thinking about doing like, let's see. See if anything. I was thinking like something like this, where like some old school fat sharks with like crazy antennas all over them. Where'd that guy's picture go? Yeah, something like this with like the anyway, or like something with like the DJI goggles with the radio receiver attachment and stuff like that. But yeah, thanks for the suggestions. I'll definitely yeah, I'll keep that up. This is one from Eat More Possum. So these are his goggles. Crazy antennas. I'd rather see a picture of you, Brent, with those goggles on. I think that'd be pretty funny. But yeah, those antennas are pretty cool. I haven't thought it'd be cool to do like some old rabbit ears from an old TV and just stick them on there. And maybe like respect the signal or something like that. But yeah, so anyway, I was getting to the point of, I had some graphics in that video, and a couple people commented on how they liked the comments. So I thought what I might do tonight is to bring up Figma and teach you guys how to use Figma a little bit. If you want to create graphics for your YouTube channel. Oh, that's a great idea. Antennas with some aluminum, crunched up aluminum foil on the ends. That's awesome. I'll spend a lot of work on that shirt and nobody will buy it. So I want to take Chris's suggestion. And then if I get to because the aluminum foil and that kind of stuff takes a lot of takes a lot of effort. Doesn't take too much effort, but it's there. Anything reflective. So I want to get, I want to talk about the club for a second. So I added the deadline right here. So everybody knows when the deadline is for Project Decay. Again, the sidebar is changed to just these two menus instead of buttons and ads because the ads weren't working out. I might try to get ads back on here, but for now, these Amazon links will help us out a little bit. Now, when I'm small, I feel like I'm too dark. So I'm going to brighten myself up a little bit. So just bear with me. What was that? Video output. Yeah, we're going to go there. What do y'all think of that? I think that looks pretty good. And then I'll change the lights in the background. Out there. Right. So there's y'all. All right. So yeah, I think that looks better. So there's a couple videos on the club. So I want to show those real quick. Chuck's got an intro video to his channel. So if you want to check that out, it's really cool to see everything that's going on there. And then I'm going to show this video. Let's see if it shows up. So I clicked unmute. I don't understand what just happened. But so anyway, I do that once a live stream. That should be a drinking game. How many times Sean starts talking after a video and he's still on mute. So but yeah, so back to what I was saying. I thought it was pretty funny in the comments, all the heckling about the visual line of sight and how you can see that drone from 10 miles away because it's so big. And what I was saying was, I think one better than the Unique Typhoon H Plus is the drone that the commercial drone that it came from, which is just the 520, the H520, I think. And that's the commercial version of the H Plus, and it's painted orange. And I will say my Autel Evo, since the drone is orange, it's pretty easy to see in the sky, especially when the sun hits it, because it's such a contrast against that blue. It's the opposite color on the color wheel, so they're great colors against each other. Like you can almost see in my background the red against the blue. So that was a cool video. What's up, Doug? Welcome to the chat. Did I miss anybody that came in? I see Brant, or Gary from Brant Aerials came in. Chris showed up and Maddie showed up. I've been talking to them in the chat. Jim's Droning showed up. And I think I've talked to everybody that showed up. Yeah, I appreciate it, Doug, for showing up. What happened to the club? And then I wanted to show one more video that's on the club. I don't think I have any decay videos that have been added. So I'm just going to play this video, another one from Steve. He got some snow. It was almost 80 degrees today here. So there's his yard. Dinner plates all covered in snow. That's it. So it's interesting that we have such a different weather in even just in the United States. I'm in shorts and a t-shirt, and I actually sweat today. And then you see Steve's video of snow, and it's like, man, that's pretty crazy how different the weather can be here and over there. So yeah. So do you guys want me to build some graphics and show you how to do it? Or do you just want me to talk? We've got about 40 minutes I'm going to be on here. So do you guys want to do that, or you guys want to talk about something else? We can talk about something else if you guys want. I'm not going to pull a guest on tonight, just because I want to engage in the chat tonight. wonder what that looks like on the stream. Okay, it's not even there. Good. So I used red and blues over there, and the pole behind the TV almost looks like it's 3D because it's got the blue on one side and the red on the other side. But I guarantee you it's not in 3D back there. It's actually real. But it's in 3D space, I guess. Okay, so Gary said graphics. Dustin said graphics. Only if I refresh the club page. So I'm going to refresh the club page. So are you saying you don't like the looks of the club? All right. Everybody's saying graphics. All right. So I want to introduce you guys to Figma.com. I probably have in the past. But I'm going to pop the link in there. If you want to. So Dustin said he posted his video. I didn't see it. I'm going to refresh it one more again. Let's see if it's in Project Decay. Dustin, I didn't get your video. Are you sure you posted it? All right, I'm going to give you 3 more seconds, and then I'm going to move on. Oh. Dre posted one. Oh, there we. Ooh. Okay, we're going to have to pause for this. Dustin, where's your audio from? All right, good job. I don't know where you found all those barns. Like, how many different barns did you have in there? I thought that was awesome. I thought that was a really good video. You're definitely in the running for sure. All right, and then Draymond posted a video. Is he in here? He always knows right when my show is on because he'll put videos up. Let's go ahead and watch it. Oh. Pretty cool video. I loved the shots of you flying backwards and the people in the background like walking backwards. I thought that was kind of neat. And I love the chasing of the train through the snow. I thought that was a really, really cool shot. Lots of cool shots in there, but those were two of my favorite. Because it looked like you had your wide angle shot and then you flew down, close into the neighborhood, and then you reversed it to give like that reveal. And I thought that was a really cool editing, like what you did there to edit. So Dustin, I would say, sorry, I got the hiccups now. Let me calm down. You said that you tried different effects, but you got aggravated trying to get the transitions right, so you gave up. You still have 3 weeks to get that video the way you want it. I love the I'm going to give you a couple tips. I love the fact that you're coming into those barns from different directions, and I would use your transitions, like make your transitions match your movement. And I think those transitions will look really, really cool. So if you're flying and then you're flying into, let's say you're flying to the right. If you're flying to the right and then all of a sudden you you wipe to the right or like fade to the right, or glitch, or if you have some nice transitions, sometimes that's a really good way to transition from one shot to another shot, is to kind of accentuate the motion that's happening. So you'll see a lot of people with cameras. Let me use this camera as an example. So you'll see people with their cameras, and they'll take the shot, and then they'll drop their camera like that, or they'll do something like that on the end to like actually get a transition. And so you'll see people will throw their camera like that, and then they'll start here and go into the shot. And so like a natural transition. So if your drone is like going this way, and then you want to grab another drone shot that's going in that direction, sometimes it's really cool to just kind of make it look like you went, like the barn, like one barn was in the same spot as the other barn, just kind of switched. Yeah. Bob calls it a swish. So if you want to swish, and sometimes you can swoosh, or sometimes you can squish. But yeah, if you do the Bob Casey swish move, it's pretty cool. Yeah, you don't so Draymond, you don't realize like how like when you're out flying a drone, especially like flying my Avata, where you've got a really good view of what the camera sees on the drone while you're flying. It's really, really neat to fly through something, because with like flying an FPV drone, or like the Avata, or regular FPV drone, you plan your shot as you're going. So like if there's like an excavator, and you see that gap from really far away, so you kind of fly really smoothly into that gap. But if you reverse that footage, you don't know the gap is there until all of a sudden it's on you. Like the video I did at the football field where I went through the bleachers. I went through the bleachers, and then I landed right in front of me. And so at the very beginning, when I reversed that clip, like it looked like I took off and flew backwards, and then I came through the bleachers and then onto the football field, and then revealed the football field. And that section of the flight looked so much better in reverse than it did going forward. Even though going forward it looked cool, because you're coming towards the bleachers, and you see how small the hole is, and then you go through the hole. But that might be kind of a fun. That might be kind of a fun video, like a project. Maybe project backwards, and we'll just see like waterfalls flowing backwards, and people walking backwards, and cars driving backwards, and like we capture motion so much. And I just thought it was really cool in your video watching. There's like two guys getting out of a car. Well, they were probably getting in their car, but since it was reversed, it looked like they were backing up from their car on the sidewalk. And there was a guy in his backyard over to the right, that he took a couple steps backwards. So maybe we'll do something like that. So Justin said he'll try it again. What he was trying to do was have the next scene start in the window frame in an open spot, like you're flying through it. Oh, into the next shot. That's tricky. You can do that with a mask pretty easy, but I think it takes a lot to process. Oh, and your DaVinci kept crashing, so you might have. Gosh, what would I do in that situation? There's been times when I haven't edited the entire video in one. Like, I'll do a lot of 360 video, and that's really, really processor intensive. So what I'll do is I'll use Insta360 Studio to kind of clip my shots, or I'll use DaVinci to color my shots, and then export just a 4K video. Because what you're doing whenever you're rendering your video, it depends on the software, but like let's take DaVinci Resolve, for instance. What DaVinci Resolve, how DaVinci Resolve does it is it'll do it frame by frame. So as you're rendering your video, and let's say it's let's say it's a 10-minute video, but it takes your computer, depending on your processor, let's say it takes your processor 2 seconds to handle each second. So it takes twice as long. So it'll take 20 minutes to render. But if you're watching it render, it renders like frame by frame. And sometimes you don't have enough memory, like enough RAM or enough hard drive. So it'll cache that stuff up. So if there's one really, really cool shot that you want to get in, but DaVinci keeps crashing, what I would do is I would take those 2 clips and get that scene right, export that scene, and then import that in. And that way your processor doesn't have to render all this crazy stuff that you did in DaVinci. It'll just have that clip. So like, yeah, sometimes I'll get, I don't know, I'll render a couple clips and then push them together to make the final video, just so that my computer's not doing so much for so long. Because some of my videos are like 25 minutes long, and you know, it might, if it takes like 2 hours to render out, I'll stop it and I'll figure out what's taking so long, and it might just be, you know, one little transition, and I'll cut that transition out and put a different transition in, and then all of a sudden it renders in 5 minutes. So yeah, you might just need to, if it keeps crashing, you might need to just edit a little different. Kind of like Scrooge McDuck used to say, work smarter, not harder. It might be easier for you to edit a little piece and then edit another little piece, and then just put those 2 pieces together, if that makes sense. I used to do that with my logo. I used to have like the logo intro. I would basically copy that chunk from my editor and then paste it in every video that I did. And then I was like, what if I just made the intro into a clip, and then I just pulled that clip in, and my render time was cut in half. But anyway, that's my advice. There's some little Sean's for you. So let's see what we got here. Dustin says, plus he's a little rusty on the sticks. Haven't flown in months. I thought you flew really good on that flight, Dustin. I really did. So we got a bunch of thumbs up on Project Backwards. I think Project Backwards is going to be a whole lot easier than Decay, because I'm having such a hard time on this project. I'm so glad it's a 3-month project, because I've definitely scouted out 3 different locations that I might do. But there's some water towers out in Murfreesboro, Tennessee that are really old. So I might get some close-up video of those. I thought about doing some Air 2S and Sphere of that. But there's also all these like little dams and waterfalls and stuff like that have old... They're walls that were created back in like Civil War times. We have them all over Tennessee. So I thought about doing some of that too. And there's a Stones River battlefield. So I might go in there one day and just buy a ticket and take my camera around. But anyway, so we got 3 weeks. So yeah. We squirsh and wash here in Oklahoma. That's from Brent. Pretty funny. So we got a lot of thumbs up on Project Backwards. So that, I think, is going to be our next project. Okay. Also, Dustin, there's a setting in there for processing, and one of them utilizes your video card. One of them utilizes your memory. But I think it depends on what kind of computer you have to where you can kind of calibrate that. All right. So just fly backwards, eat more possum. It's Steve's advice. You know what, Steve, you can do? You can, with your H plus, you can fly forward and have your camera pointing backwards because you've got that 360 camera on the bottom of it. So yeah, you've got great capabilities with yours. All right. So how much time we got? We got 15 minutes. 15 minutes, we're going to make a graphic. In the free version of Figma, you have you only have a few files that you can deal with, but I just want to show you one of my files. So this is my Shawnide Studios file, and it has it's in the middle of loading things right now, but it has like logos. It's got my subscribe button. It's got my icon. And what's great about it is I can create this icon. See how it's purple? I can create this icon in one place, and then I can use it in different places, and it'll just automatically update. I haven't really done that, but just because you only have the ability in the free version to do like one or two files, you don't have to do that way. And this is a little overwhelming, but I want to go here. If you double click here, then you can go to the graphic that I did. For this graphic, I grabbed his little avatar. I made a red rectangle with bent edges, so I can come here and I can make it straight edges, or I can make it a pill, but I chose to do it something like that. I also had to bring in this image because memojis aren't part of how this application does it. And then this is a text field, and this is a text field. And Figma has all these little helper lines. So I can, if you see those two little X's on the line, when I match it up, then this is it's at the top left. If I move this down and you get the line where it's in the middle of the circle and in the middle of the rectangle, then I know those are lined up correctly. And then I just pulled this over. So that's what we're going to create tonight. So I'm going to go back to my files, and we're going to come here. And I don't like anything on here. This is really old school. Apparently I did that 3 years ago because it was Shawnide Studios was 4 then, and now we're 7. So on this page we have nothing. So the first thing I want to do is I want to put an avatar in. So I'm just going to grab a headshot. We're just going to grab the first one, Well, let's see. Let's get a good one. This one's pretty good. So I'm just going to copy this image and I'm going to paste it in here. All right. And then what I want to do is I want to make it square. So all right. So move my microphone. So just to make it square, we're going to make it 1,000. Oh. 5,000. Turn that off. All right, so that's square, but I kind of want him in the middle of the picture. So choose that to crop. So I want to put him dead center. That's pretty good. All right. And then if you go in here and I want to make this as big as I can. I need to put this up a little bit. You'll see these little circles, and this is the radius of the corner. And I think right now they're all connected. So you can make like a rounded corner box. But if you bring these all the way in, it turns it into a circle. Okay. And this is usually what you see whenever people put subscribe to my channel and they do like a little circle. I saw this really cool logo that had kind of a swoosh squirrel. I'm not going to stop talking about that. Okay, so we have this image, and then what I want to do is I want to add a stroke to it. What a stroke does, it adds a line around it, and we're going to make it a really thick line. So we're going to do that with it. And I'm going to make it, let's go green here. So we're going to go with that green. Actually, let's do the blue on his shirt. All right. Now what that's done is it's cut his hair off. So on the stroke over here, I'm going to change it to the outside, and it's going to put a stroke on the outside of the image instead of the inside of the image. Okay. And now if I hold the shift key down and I scale it, the image scales, but the stroke doesn't. So we're going to start with that. And then I'm thinking about making a quote. So let's put him over to the right. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. So we're going to put him over here. And then I want to make a speech bubble. So I'm going to start out with the rectangle. And I'm going to put this about here. And I'm going to make the fill the same blue. In here, we're going to make the radius kind of like that, so it looks like a speech bubble. And then what's missing is a little tail. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to double click in here. And what this does is it gives me the vector shapes. I think, Chris, you asked earlier if it did vector or bitmap. It does both because I can export as a JPEG. But everything is, I forget what the term of it is, but it's where you design without destroying. In Photoshop, I used to rip the eye off of someone and put it on someone else, or I used to cut a pimple out or cut like a ponytail off, but I can never get that stuff back. What this does is it lets me manipulate shapes, and everything is nice and crispy and beautiful. I can export this as an SVG file, which is a scalable vector graphic, and those SVG files can be brought into Illustrator. I can submit them to Spreadshirt, and it's a vector file that they can make as big as the moon if they want to. Non-destructive editing is what Charles says. If you see, we've got this little dot here, and we've got this dot. So if I want to grab this dot, like grab the two top dots, and then move my cursor over, like hit the arrow keys, then I can do that. But I don't want to do that right now. But up here, you've got a little pen tool. Okay. And I'm going to add, so there already is one in the middle, and I'm going to add one. Well, I don't want the one in the middle. I want the tail to be over here. So I'm going to put one here. I'm going to add 3 in a row. Okay. And now what I want to do is I want to grab this one, and I want to pull it down. And I'll just do something like that. Now you'll notice that this corner, so I've set every corner to have a radius of 93, but I'm just going to collect this one, and I'm going to bring that down. So it's going to give me kind of I want a little bit of roundness on it. And I don't want this dot to be that harsh either. So now we have this little speech bubble tail. Okay. And I want to hit done. And then let's say I want like this to have a drop shadow. So I can select this and this, and I can add an effect over here. So we're going to add a drop shadow. And if you click on, you have several other things. You have layer blur, where it blurs everything. You can do an inner shadow, where you can give something like depth. And you can do background blur, where you can blur things behind. But what we're going to do right now is we're going to drop shadow. Right now it's not visible, so I'm going to just make it black just so we can see what it does. Oh crap. But I'm going to go in here and I'm going to make everything huge just so you guys can see what it does. So there's the blur. I've got a blur of 64. And I'm going to move it out. So I moved it down, and we're going to move it over to the right a little bit. Okay. And so that's kind of what the shadow ended up looking like. But it's really, really harsh, so I don't like it. So we're going to take the opacity out. So that kind of looks like a natural shadow. Okay. Then we're going to add text. And all right, so I've got some text in there. You guys can't see what I wrote yet, but I'm going to go ahead and make the box fit in my square. I'm going to take the text. Over here you have different, like these are all your tools over here to the right that you can just manipulate whatever you have selected. So I want my text to be dead center of that box. I want it to be white. So the fill is always the color. I'm going to make it white. And then I'm going to make the text bold. Let's do bold italic, just so it looks like a quote. And then I've got everything centered in both the X and the Y axis. And I'm going to come in here and I'm just going to hold down the Shift key and hit the arrow up and make the text bigger. It's going to wrap. And now we have a graphic. Yeah. And so since we've added this tail, this might not be centered with this. So what I'm going to do with this, well, yeah, what I'm going to do with this, I'm going to select this and this. So I selected the person, the avatar, and this, the bubble. And up in the top, I can align things. So if I want them to be centered on each other, I can do this. And what that's done is it's put this in the middle of this box and this in the middle of the box. So now I'm going to bring this down. And whenever my, well, yeah, we're going to put that there. So yeah. The other thing is in exporting. So if I want to grab all of these things and right click, I want to group this selection. And what group does is it basically puts everything kind of in a nice little box. And let's say I want to duplicate this with, oh, let's add some depth to this. So if we click on this and we've got the effect of a drop shadow, I'm going to add another effect and we're going to make this, we're going to put an inner shadow on this. And that's kind of giving it some depth. I'm not very big on it, but so I'm going to make this about a 10. Maybe a 20. Okay. And then I'm going to add another effect of inner shadow. Nope. All right, so we got 64. I'm going to make this one white. That was 64. All right. So now I've added a lighter, kind of a light. I really should flip those, but sorry, I'm reading those comments. So anyway, there's that. I'm going to go ahead and kill them, though. So I like that a little bit better. And on the text, I can add a drop shadow to it. We do. If I want to add a stroke around this, I can add let's put like a red to it. No, let's do orange. We talked about orange earlier. All right, so the last thing I want to show you is on this group, I can export it. You can export it as a PNG, a JPEG, an SVG, or a PDF. So depending on what your software needs, you can export them as different things. PNGs and SVGs have transparent backgrounds, so you can throw those onto your Final Cut Pro video and it'll be kind of see-through. So yeah, that's it. So I saw a lot of comments in there about the bromance between me and Chris. And Bob, it's an online application called Figma. It's what we use at work to design prototypes and stuff like that. But there's a free version, and so you don't need Photoshop or Illustrator or any of those other things. It's just a pretty simple graphics tool. So I'm planning on making a video tutorial, a legit photo tutorial on how to build graphics for your YouTube channel. But I'm also planning on starting a store where people can hire me to do graphics and logos for their YouTube channel. So anyway, so what's all this about wrenches? Why does everybody want wrenches? I'm pretty picky about my wrenches over here. I don't just give wrenches to everybody. Anyway, if you guys want to show a video on the live stream, put it in the club, and that way I can see what it is before I post it up. Okay. I've had a lot of issues in the past with moderators, and so I don't necessarily want to give everybody a wrench right now. So that's it. I think that's about all I want to talk about. After looking at my background all night, I think I want to move the TV over there, all the way over to the left. And then I might put a picture up in that corner or something. But I'm digging all the stuff, all the colors that are bouncing off of the VR headset and everything. Oh, okay. Here's the link, Bob. It's a free application. Just if you just sign up and do the free version, you can do everything on one page. So it's pretty fun. So yeah, that's all I got. I have, I didn't tell you guys about what I bought. But I'm really excited about this. I'm super excited about this. And I hope it meets all of my expectations. But who knows? So this is what I just purchased. So my Blackmagic 4K camera is a micro four thirds camera. And I've adapted a lot of Canon glass to it with an adapter. But I found this. It's by Photodoix. I don't know how to say their name. But it is the Tilt Rocker. And it is a tilt shift lens mount adapter for Canon EOS lenses, which is EF mount, which is what I have a bunch of, to a micro four thirds camera, which is what the Blackmagic 4K is. And so I was looking into a tilt shift lens by itself, and then I came across this, which will allow me to use several different lenses for tilt shift. So there's one of my I thought about doing kind of like a Walking Dead type thing with my Project DK, and there's a barn that I can get. It's not a barn, it's like a pump house right next to Mill Creek in Nolensville, Tennessee. And it has a little so down at the bottom there's water damaged wood on the bottom because that creek rises a lot. And I think that pump house has been there for probably 200 years, 150 years. So the bottom is like decayed wood, like the grain. I don't know. It just looks really cool. So I'm thinking about putting this on my Blackmagic camera and then putting it on a, it's not a slider, but it's a pole that kind of extends back and forth. So that way I can get this like really weird focus and then go really slow across the wood grain. And I think this will be awesome. But check this out. So I'll be able to move. So one of the reasons you would make the lens do this is if you pan your, if you're taking pictures and you're going to stitch things together, if you pan your tripod, you pan your camera across, you'll get like this kind of bulging picture, kind of like with a GoPro or like with a 360 camera, you'll get this bulge. But what this allows you to do is it basically allows you to move your lens over here. Like you set your camera up parallel, and then you have your lens over here, lens in the middle, lens to the right. And you can take a panoramic image without ever moving the camera and without rotating the camera. So, and then you can rotate the lens so you can do that to a building as well. So with stitching and photography, I'm pretty excited about that. But on a video, it'll let me do like really, it basically takes the focus plane and you can tilt it. And so you get like this tiny little sliver of focus. And so pretty excited about that. But so yeah, I'm excited about that, and it might add to the effects of the decay. So Bob asked if Figma can be used for thumbnails. So Bob, this is what I do for thumbnails. This let's see. I call this one 4K. Actually, I want to show you what I do, and then I'll show you how to build it, like build one really, really quick. But so this is my old, this is like a month ago, what my thumbnails look like. So if you go in here, under here, I've got, so I've got this group called overlays. And in that group, I have, you can turn things on and off with these eyeballs. So I've got a DJ Avada. I've got the Santa Claus hat. Whenever I put the DJ Avada on top of the Avada, I've moved things around since then. What else do we have? Canon C200. So I've got the logo there. So if I turn the 6K off, I turn the Blackmagic icon off and the 6K off. Well, I need to group those, but so I have everything lined up for my icons. So I've got my logo there, but like on overlays, if I just turn all my overlays off, that's the only thing that's left is a picture screenshot from my video and this text. And in this text, I basically put what the title is. And then this rectangle is basically just a cover. So sometimes, like I've got all the, like every image in here. I'm going to turn my overlays back on. But yeah, so this is basically how I've set this up. So yeah, this is my thumbnail tool. It really is. I've since moved to a different one. So basically what I'm doing with my new one is I'm adding overlays as I get to them. So there's my overlays. I'm going to keep that folder or that group with overlays in it so I can put, like, I find like a PNG, a transparent ping of every drone I have and every camera that I have. And then whenever I do a video about that, I put a picture of the camera, the drone, and I try to come in here and, kind of move it around and kind of add, like, make it look like it's flying in the scene. I like to kind of float it in the sky so it gives it some contrast, but that's kind of what I do there. And then I've created the banner, which basically has a background behind it that I've made it a pass-through banner. So if you look over here, I've changed it to hard light. Let me turn your thumbnail on. But I could do like difference. Like you really just need to play around with it and see what looks the best. But I've got it set to hard light so that it makes it really dark so that my white text is shown really bright. And then, yeah, I took this from the Jimmy Fallon show. So he's got the Jimmy Fallon logo over here, and then he's got the text under here. So I'm just trying something different with my thumbnails this year. But let me show you how to do that real quick. So I'm going to take all this and delete it. The first thing you want to do is start with a frame. And over here to the right, you have all of these different options. You've got like desktop, tablets. So there is a TV version, but they used to have a 4K in here, but they don't. So I start with a tablet and I do 12:9. But what I do is I go to Google and I do 4K resolution. All right. And so I grab this 3840. I need to kill all these. So over here, the width is 3840. And the height is 2160. So if you double click on this, it puts it in the screen. So now I have a frame, and I don't like how it's named here. So I'm just going to call this thumbnail. All right. And let's say, I don't know what your color scheme is, Bob, but let's look. All right. So you basically have like a drone scene. All right, so let's make that. So we've got your thumbnail here. We're going to go over here and we're going to do drone shot. So yeah, let's just say this is one of your pictures you took. It's one of my favorite pictures. I see it a lot. Well, let's just find one. So I'm just going to copy this image and paste it just for our video right now. You can grab this, and when it turns red, it snaps to the corner, and this is going to turn red and snap to the corner. All right. So that's what you would do if you found a picture on the internet. But if you want to add an image, you can go here and place an image. It's on the very bottom. And then it'll go in here and it'll look for a picture. So let's just take this picture that I've uploaded. And I'm just going to drop it there. And so, again, I'm going to snap it to the corner. And then I'm just going to snap this one. And I don't know if you notice it, but it's basically changing the crop of the image to fit. Like, see how the lens is kind of going towards the edge? So that image is basically masked into this rectangle. If you want to go in there and fix that, you can change this to crop, and you can drag the image around in that rectangle to be right there. And you're good to go. And let's say for you, Bob, I wanted to put all of the text over to the right. So I'm going to grab a rectangle and I'm going to cover this entire thing. Make sure it's snapped. And as you can see, the rectangle is on top of the image. So it's just layers. Whatever's on top's on top. Whatever's on bottom's on bottom. And I'm going to fill this with white. See what happens. So my rectangle. Oh, I need to put it in that frame. So what I did here was I put the rectangle inside of the thumbnail. It was really just kind of on outside and not in it. But on this rectangle, I want to, instead of making it a fill, let's pick like something that's going to get everybody's attention. Let's get like this, kind of this yellow. And instead of a solid, we're going to come in here and change this to we're going to change it to linear. Okay. And just real simple tools. You have your 100% yellow and your 0% yellow. So I can drag this over to this corner right here, and then maybe move this out a little bit so that there's some kind of yellow on top of your image. And then I'm going to add some text. We'll just add some quick text. To we're going to do that. We're going to make this pretty big over here. Let's make it black. Make it big. And then whenever you're making your thumbnail, you could have that written over there. If you don't want to ever touch the yellow overlay, you can lock it. And then when I'm clicking on something, now I'm clicking on the image. I'm going to go to fill because I don't like where it's at. Yeah, we're going to leave that there. And then let's say you wanted to put your icon in there. I'm just going to find one real quick. Well, this is a bad example. Type in logo, tools, color, transparent. All right, once you have this, you can make sure everything is in this thumbnail group. Grab your thumbnail, export it. I'm going to export it as one-time size because I put the 4K size in there already. And the only other thing is I'd make it a JPEG so that it's pretty small for YouTube. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes YouTube only takes a 2 megabyte file, so this file might be bigger than 2 megabytes. But there's my thumbnail. I got a little off, but but yeah, that's my thumbnail that I can upload to YouTube and make. That was really, really quick. What I would encourage you to do, yeah, Bob, I'll make a step-by-step thumbnail video, and you can watch it over and over and over again. um, but and maybe like a basics video would probably be the first thing to do. But yeah, I mean, and I really think you'll get it really quick. I really do. And if you don't, then you don't have to do it. I spent a little while with Adrian Mateo one night. I was on his live stream, and then I hung out kind of after the show was over, and we talked for a long time. And I showed him Figma, and he was like, "Man, this is crazy," but I don't know if he ever used it. But yeah, I might do a Figma series for you guys, because I really think, like, even just for thumbnails, even like putting text on top of a thumbnail, it's a super easy program. Like, I would say that, like, I'll show you guys how to make my thumbnail, and it's basically, whatever your color, whatever your favorite color is, or your brand color, covering up half of the image. I'll show you where to put the screenshot from your drone footage, what layer to put that on, and then where to put some text, and that's good enough for a thumbnail. And then, what we do at work, whenever we're, building our applications, we'll start out with MVP, which is like minimal viable product. So, maybe this week you do a picture with your, with just the title of your video on it. And that's baby step number one. And then maybe next week you figure out how to add your logo to it in the corner. And then next week you figure out how to put the drone on it. Like, I know, Bob, your video or your logo has that, the Air 2S in it. Like, you already have that. Just put that in Figma and put that on the side of your drone, and then everybody will know when they see that thumbnail, they'll see that that's your video. That's kind of what I've done with my thumbnails, is I kind of put everything in the same spot every video, so when people see that, like the people that have watched my channel for years, they know that that's my video, that's something new that I just put out. Or people that have never seen my thumbnails before see the DJI Avata up there in the corner, so they know, oh, this is going to be a DJI Avata video, or this is going to be a Blackmagic camera video. So, so Gary said, Canva. Let's see what Canva is. Let's try it. Okay, so what we're doing here is we're starting with different templates, animated logo. Wow. I'll have to play around with this. So I'm going to go to Figma. It's pretty cool. I like it. All right, so now that we got this, it's a pretty cool tool. Yeah, I think it's really cool for making like animations and stuff like that. I will say Figma, well, I'll have to play with it some more, but I think Figma has more, you can have more control. But yeah, this kind of reminds me of like PowerPoint, where you can start out with a size. It's got custom animations in there already. Um, and then you've got different elements that you put on the slide. Um, but let's see what this is. Let's see what it looks like. Did it show up anywhere? Well, it's not opening up on my computer. Awesome. Let's see. Let's show it here. Yep, I'm not sure what happened, but we'll have to play around with that. I Yeah, I think the video is pretty cool. We can add. It's pretty cool. All right. Yeah, I will definitely check that out. If anything, I can build some tutorials on that. All right. Well, people are starting to drop off. So, man, I've been streaming for 2 hours and 12 minutes. So I'm going to go get myself some, I don't know what I'm going to eat, but I'm going to eat some dinner. But hope you guys like this live stream. Hope you guys like the new setup. It's going to continue to change until I get it the way that I really, really want it to. The lens that I added is it's a 25 millimeter. The camera's still pretty far away from me. So I might see, I've got 30 days to return this lens. So I might try a different lens next week and get a little bit more wider view. But overall, I think everything looks good. But thanks you guys for the comments and the compliments. And yeah, hope you guys like this live stream. Hope you guys like my channel and my videos, and hope you guys like me. Please like, subscribe to my channel. Click on the bell for notifications when I put out more videos on live streaming, cameras, action cameras, drones, all the good stuff. Have a wonderful week, y'all. Peace out.